The last 25,000 miles on Vicky's Suburban have been put on basically towing a race car trailer all over the country, and it's left our old Suburban a little worse for wear. The steering pulls to the right pretty good, and it's got some vibration, I think, in the tires. I'm not sure. So I've got plans this morning to take it down to Bowman Goodyear and drop it off, and my brother was supposed to follow me down so I could drop the Suburban off and bring me back to my house. But Jeremy wasn't quite ready when I was. He slept in a little bit this morning, which made me a little bit late for my appointment down at Bowman Goodyear, which I'm sure is pretty much par for the course on a Monday.
Sorry I couldn't get down here earlier. I had to get my brother out of bed.
I'm not sure if he slept in or he was busy playing with his CB in the driveway.
What you got there, good buddy? Come on, kick it back there, come on.
I haven't had much opportunity to stir Jeremy up in a while because he's been busy at the farm.
You making any progress up there at the farm on that freaking combine or what?
Somewhat. You've seen the videos. I sent them to you.
Mostly he's just been sending me videos of him chasing goats around and trying to keep them fed.
Get out of the way. Move it.
Jeremy happens to have a favorite goat, one that's half black and half white that gets his head stuck in the fence almost every day.
Here's what we call 50-50. Half black, half white.
Outside of taking care of Dad's goat chores, he's been busy on this combine. Now, this thing is a major pain in the ass to get the head off of it, but he had to get it off there to make repairs to a bushing that's causing the head to hang lower on one side than the other. But while I've got him down here at the shop with me today, I'm going to take advantage of him being around. Well, at least I think I'm going to. I backed the Malibu out of the shop and there he is standing there with a BB gun. I don't know where in the hell he found that thing. Anyway, I had him go ahead and help me unload the S10 off the trailer and asked him to film me backing it off, and this is what I got. Not exactly what I had in mind. He did, however, manage to film me getting out of the truck.
Today we have a fat guy in a little truck.
Anyway, the whole reason for bringing the truck in is to pull the wastegates off and check them out. The truck's been having trouble building the correct amount of boost, and Jeremy pulls these things off and claims that one of the valve seats is missing. It wasn't installed, according to Uncle Bucko.
Where's your box of extra parts?
It turns out the valve seat was installed. He just let it fall out on the floor when he removed it.
Well, now you're changing your story. You told me it wasn't in there, and now you say it's on the floor, so it had to have been in there. You're screwing up my whole diagnoses.
It's kind of hard. It's like a plumber on crack has been in here.
By this time, I received word that Billy's on his way, and I need to run into Jegs for Tommy anyway. So I figure I'll just let my son deal with Uncle Bucko when he gets to the shop. So for right now, my main focus is picking up a new line lock and some fittings for Tommy and Allison, and talking to Uncle Terry a little bit about this Mustang versus Malibu rivalry.
Uncle Terry, let me ask you something.
Ask me.
What do you make of this Malibu versus Mustang grudge racing thing?
Well,
I think Billy's in trouble.
I think Billy is in a little trouble.
I think he's a little behind the curve.
Here's the curve.
Uh-oh.
Billy's back here
Oh,
in the curve.
and you're a Ford guy.
I am a Ford guy. I love Fords. And
You love 302s.
I love 302s. He's just, and he's going to come around. I said he'll come around.
Come around what? He ain't coming around me. Where's the Malibu, Billy?
Yeah.
2 seconds ahead of you, buddy.
Yeah, 2 seconds ahead. Now, that's depressing. I said, man, before you ran in the tens,
You thought he had it.
Now you're in the tens.
While I was at Jegs, I left Jeremy in charge of the shop and in charge of filming, and that was a very bad idea.
Get to work, wrench slave. Careful. At any given time on these things, a bag of explode on you.
Right in the face.
Right in your face. Before you know it. He thinks I'm shitting him, June.
Andre the Giant face.
Yeah, that's the worst.
It's like getting hit with a summer sausage.
Well, I wouldn't mind that. I'll just take a bite out of that, but...
Yeah, but not with the cheap liquor.
If it's summer sausage, I don't know.
None of this footage he's going to be able to use.
I would have probably been better off leaving Vicky in charge of the shop, except she had errands to run. So anyway, it was about that time that Billy showed up to the shop so he could babysit. And once they got the wastegates off, he wanted to check out the rear suspension. You see, the truck had a little problem down at Edgewater, wheeling towards the wall, and it didn't take much to figure out what that problem was. So anyway, while Billy starts looking for a solution to his lowering block problem, I get started working on his red Mustang. The carburetor's got a couple little problems.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the shop. We're out here tonight. I'm working on Billy's carburetor for his Mustang. As you saw in the video, we went down to Cincy Street nights, and he struggled really bad with the Mustang. It would literally try to pull the wheels It actually did pull the wheels, and then it would bog real bad right off the starting line. I want to explain to you what was going on. Unfortunately, I bought this carburetor after I gave away my last good gas carburetor. I had one on the Malibu. I did a giveaway on it, and then I replaced it with another one and basically set it all up exactly the way the Malibu was with my last carburetor, and it worked really good. But I only had it on the car for about a week, and I never raced it. I took that carburetor off the Malibu, and I had it sitting out here on my workbench for quite a while, and when Billy got his Mustang, he needed it, so I gave it to Billy to put on his Mustang. However, I failed to realize that there was a major problem. There was parts missing. So in the front and the rear fuel bowls, you have what I call vent whistles. And they're basically just a plastic tube that presses into the metering block, and it keeps gasoline in the bowl from sloshing out the vent tube on acceleration or on deceleration. And for whatever reason, this carburetor didn't have them, and I completely missed it. Like I said, I changed the power valve in the carburetor when I first got it. I pulled it right out of the box, took it apart, changed the power valve, changed the jets in it, set it all up exactly like my last carburetor was. Put it on the Malibu, drove it up the road. It ran perfectly fine, but I never launched it. I never raced it. Took it right back off, and then I put E85 carburetor on, and it's been sitting ever since. The whole reason behind those vent whistles is to keep that fuel from sloshing into the back of the bowl and up the metering block and eventually out the bowl vent tube and down into the center of the main body. So we had put some 90-degree spark plug boots on to try and rectify that situation in a pinch down there at the track, and unfortunately it wasn't enough. So I took this carburetor apart tonight, and of course, like I kind of remembered, I guess I remember that they're missing, but it didn't hit me. It didn't dawn on me that I needed to put them in. But so the front one, I had a pair of them. I went ahead and pressed the front one into the metering block, put it back together. But the rear metering block has got a couple of burrs in the chamber there where the vent whistle snaps in, and it won't allow the vent whistle to go in the back one at all. So we're not going to be able to put one in the back for right now. I don't know. Kenny had a carburetor from the same company and had a major problem with it. And I've had a bunch of these carburetors. I've never had any trouble, but here recently kind of getting some problems. So I don't know. It is what it is. We're going to go ahead and put this thing back together, put it on the Mustang, and let him drive it around a little bit. I'm probably going to call ATM and see if I can get a carburetor for the Mustang. The one we put on Kenny's Camaro works really good, so probably going to call them.
So I managed to get Billy's carburetor put back on his red Mustang, and I think it's going to be okay for right now. But Tuesday, my focus changed from getting the cars ready to getting the truck and trailer ready to head towards Norwalk for No Prep Kings this weekend. So I got Kenny started on power washing the truck and trailer, and I hopped in the Malibu to run to town to run a few errands, and I need to get my hair cut. I'm just trying to get as many loose ends tied up before Tess and Tony get here at 7 o'clock in the morning on Wednesday. They've got a handful of small problems on the Mustang they want to get dealt with, and we've still got a few of our own. Luckily, one of the most major ones got taken care of last night when Allison's dad cut these lowering blocks for Billy. With that problem out of the way, the next thing we got to do is take the plasma cutter to the lower control arms and notch the shock opening for more clearance for the adjustment knobs. That way Billy doesn't have to struggle so hard to make shock adjustments between rounds of competition. We were making pretty good progress on the truck, but it was time for a quality control check with Uncle Bucko up front.
Dude, that looks good and all, but you ought to clean it up with a grinder.
Just a crappy race car.
Listen, we do things to a certain standard around here.
Yeah, I've seen your standard.
There's a little crappiness, and that is not to the level of crappiness.
You hear that? It's not
better-
to our level.
Your original level of crappiness is why I'm here.
No. That was Billy's level of crappiness, not mine. My level of crappiness is up here. Billy's it's pretty low. I mean, it's about Jack's low.
Yeah, yours is about knee high.
Well, then we need to elevate ourselves.
Robbie went ahead and got all the rear suspension cleaned up and even power washed the inside of the wheels and tires. I finished getting the red Mustang ready to go, and Billy brought Tess and Tony's white Mustang out so we can maybe get a little jump start on it before they get here. And I plan on doing just that as soon as I make sure that these wastegates on Billy's truck are going to work okay. So now that we think we've got the S10 pretty well under control, the next thing I wanted to get done was I wanted to take the carburetor off the white Mustang and go through it, because it's been quite a while since this carburetor's been apart.
I originally built this for Billy's S10 years ago, and then it was on Tommy's S10 for a while, and then Tess and Tony bought the Mustang and inherited the old OG carburetor, so it hasn't been apart for a long time, and it had quite a bit of corrosion in it. You can see the bowl screws, and this is pretty common corrosion for E85 and methanol, but luckily I have a complete billet metering block E85 freshen up kit here from ATM, and I was going to use it in piecemealing a carburetor back together for Allison's Dart, but I think I'm just going to order a complete brand new carburetor from them for Allison's Dart. So I just went ahead and used their kit that they sent me to fix up Tony and Tess's carburetor.
So while I'm in there working on that carburetor, the boys pull the Falcon in to swap tires from Mickey Thompson's back to Hoosier's, because for some reason the Mickey Thompsons are quite a bit taller and they're rubbing the inside of the wheel tubs. We had problems with that at Pacemaker's Saturday, and you'll see that on Street Racing Channel's video coming up this week. So once the boys had the Falcon off the lift, we backed it out and brought the white Mustang in to make sure the carburetor's okay and to pull a transmission down out of it before Tess and Tony get here. They want to put another new clutch in the car and replace this twisted drive shaft yoke tomorrow. Billy and I both ended up staying out in the shop and work until the wee hours of the morning, and it was almost time to head towards Port Columbus to pick up Tony and Tess. We managed to do a little homework while we were in there to get a couple different spots ready for some shootouts, maybe later on this week. And then finally, at just about sunrise, it was time to head towards Port Columbus to pick up our friends from California.
So, how was the flight?
That's the worst one yet. It wasn't terrible.
Horrible.
The freaking hippies are on there, man. They all stunk and don't take showers.
Dude, I think I saw some of them walking out while I was waiting on you.
Like psychedelic colors,
The
and
one with the fur coat.
they had fur coats on and like hemp like sheets on, and terrible. They stunk. As soon as they got in the plane, it just stunk like a toilet.
Really?
Yeah. It was bad.
Did you tell them to stay on the plane and go back where they came from?
They came from Vegas. There was probably a hippie convention, and they're coming back to Ohio to live.
No, they're not coming back to
Oh my
Ohio.
gosh, that's Hillary Clinton right there.
Oh.
Look, see? Those are some of the hippies that were on there.
Oh yeah, there they are.
There they are right there. See?
I can almost, oh boy.
See?
Oh
The fur
boy.
coat, that was
He stunk. He stunk like
Yeah.
like a musty attic.
Yeah, there they are over there, oh why. Jeez, the crackers. Look at this mess. Well, I'm back.
Show everybody. Spin around.
She's so proud and she's so happy of her new office.
It's a miracle.
So I went and got Tess and Tony,
Yeah.
and then I came back to the house to work on my video, but they report some very smelly people were headed towards Ohio.
I encountered them last night.
What?
Our area is being infiltrated by the people who enjoy this strange techno concert that's out in our area about a half an hour away.
Oh no, it's that time of year again?
It's called the Lost Lands.
Oh, good
And
grief.
there's giant dinosaur sculptures on display, and there's this huge techno light show. And anyway, so I was at Walmart last night trying to get groceries.
So it's not a hippie convention.
Well, it attracts hippies.
Well, they smell really bad.
Yeah, so we're talking multicolored hair, psychedelic, all kinds of weird outfits. And
I noticed that.
And
So, how do we avoid these people at all costs?
stay away from Newark and Heath. If I have to go anywhere today, I'm going that way.
It's pretty bad when it's better that way than it is the other direction.
Honey, you're catching me at a bad time. I haven't had hair, makeup, nothing done. But show everybody my office.
I did. I showed them. It's really nice.
Can I give you the clip of the before so you can
No,
show
I'm not getting into all that right now. You're getting chipmunked in about 2 seconds.
Hey!
All right, everybody. So we have figured out what the hippie situation is. I'm sorry, Tess and Tony, that you had to endure the hippie situation on your flight here. They're evidently flying in from everywhere for some Lost Lands techno concert, something. I don't know. It's terrible. They do this like once a year and it's always a big mess. Anyway, all the smelly people are coming to Ohio this week for Lost Lands. Tess and Tony are in at Jegs right now. They took the Suburban back to Columbus to go visit Uncle Terry. And they're going to pick up some parts for the Mustang. And I'm going to try and finish this video up this morning. And then I'm going to go to bed for a little while because I haven't been to bed, I don't know, since yesterday? I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to finish this video up and get it uploaded. I'm going to take a little nap. I'm going to shave once I get up. I'm going to take a shower and shave my face because I look rough. And then I guess I'll come back out and check in on Tony and Tess and see how they're doing. Now, the plan is, again, this weekend we're headed to No Prep Kings at Norwalk, but I think we're going to sneak off and test someplace on Thursday at a private, undisclosed location. But let's see, what else? I think that's everything I wanted to tell you guys about. It's a little difficult to deal this morning with not much sleep. Well, anyway, see y'all maybe tomorrow.